Welcome to Jamaican Roots and Culture. I'm Pat Clark. We hear a lot of talk about the Christmas spirit. In Jamaica, there's another kind of spirit that is used extensively at this time of the year. Although the exact origin of the word rum is not known, it is commonly believed to come from the English word rumbullion, which means great pandemonium. It is important to note that the Latin for sugar is saccharum, another possibility for the word's origin. For a time, the drink was also known as kill devil, and it was used to trade with the young American colonies for salted fish, pork, beef, timber, and livestock. As processing techniques improved, rum became more palatable and popular. Barbados's Mount Gay Distilleries Limited claims the title of the world's oldest rum producer, citing processing equipment on the site of their present offices that dates back to 1703. Appleton, Jamaica, dating back to 1749, is therefore the second oldest. In 1893, close to 90% of the 31,555 acres under sugarcane cultivation in Jamaica belonged to sugar estates that operated their own mills and distilleries. At the time, there were some 148 distilleries located throughout Jamaica. By 1948, there were only 25. Since then, the number of distilleries has dropped even further to 5. Yet with improvements in technology, the quantity of rum produced has grown. Jamaica currently produces the widest varieties of rum in the world. In fact, the island has the capacity to produce up to 50 million liters of rum annually. Jamaican rums are presently sold in over 70 countries around the world. The Jamaican Excise Duty Law of 1941 defines rum as spirits distilled solely from sugarcane juice, sugarcane molasses, or the refuse of the sugarcane at a strength not exceeding 150% proof spirit. To make rum, molasses, the thick syrup resulting from sugarcane juice crystallized by boiling, is allowed to ferment. The resultant wash has approximately 6% alcohol, which after distillation produces rum as a sharp-tasting, clear, colorless liquid with about 80% alcohol. White rum, popular on the local market, is basically this product diluted to 40% alcohol. Golden rums come from the aging of the clear liquid in oaken casks and the absorption of the color from the oak. The darker, heavier Jamaican rums come from combinations of molasses and skimmings from the sugar boiling vats stored in oaken casks. The fermentation of other substances in the molasses can enhance a rum's flavor and aroma. Jamaican and other full-bodied rums are matured in large casks called puncheons and distilled between 140 degrees and 160 degrees proof in pot stills, a practice that dates back to the 17th century. Today, the more modern light column stills are used. Full-bodied rums rely on natural or what is called wild fermentation rather than the cultured yeast inoculation used in light-bodied rums. The rum industry's development can be traced back to 1825 when a wheelwright living in St. Anne opened a tavern in a residential area of the bustling seaport and commercial center of Kingston. His name was John Ray. Aware that Kingston was home to one of the most renowned theaters in the world, the Theatre Royal, which since the 1770s had played host to countless English touring companies who made their first calls in Kingston en route to Boston and New York, Ray built his tavern right next door. It was appropriately called the Shakespeare Tavern. The area known then and now as Parade was a popular meeting place for locals. The parish church and a large market were also nearby. By 1860, Ray had become a successful rum merchant and had brought his 22-year-old nephew, Charles James Ward, into the business. By 1862, He had made Ward his partner, and the business was known from then on as J. Ray and Nephew. Soon after, Ray retired, and in 1870 when he died, Ward assumed full control of the business, headquartered at the Shakespearean Tavern. Charles James Ward was a gifted entrepreneur, and his tenure marked a period of dynamic growth for J. Ray and Nephew. Ward transformed his heritage, a tavern and liquor dealing concern, into one of Jamaica's largest commercial enterprises that enjoyed local and international acclaim. For Jamaican Roots and Culture, I'm Pat Clark.